have the charts the size that I have. In this particular one on the euro, there's only about 57 seconds left. I don't want to enter a 5-minute binary with only 50 seconds left. So I'm just going to sit and wait and watch. We do have a potential for the reversal bar on the 5-minute chart. I don't like to risk a lot on these 5-minute binaries, so I'm going to do an out of the money. And you can see price is currently at 62.4 and the strike is at 65. So it would not have to move a lot, but in this case we have had a reversal bar on the 5-minute chart. It is to the upside, which is why I entered that trade. Just trying to see if we had anything over on the British pound, and we don't have it yet. The next area of potential resistance on the euro is at 68. So it should go hopefully above this 67 area. That's what I'm looking for it to do. You do have almost 3 minutes left in this binary. I don't want to see a weak bar here. I want to see a strong bullish bar here, not weak. Would really like to see it go above the 67 area. I don't like the way this bar is forming, so I'm just going to take profits if I can. There we go. And again, this is a 5-minute. You don't have a lot of time to stop and wait and watch and decipher what's going on. If you're going to have a profit, you're going to have a profit. In that case, we were risking around $80 and made, what, 140, 150. I am watching the British pound now, because there is a potential that we have a reversal bar on the 5-minute. The issue is you only have 1 minute, and this would have to move about 4 pips. I don't really want to do that one. I'll have to wait until the next 5-minute binary comes out. One thing about trading the 5-minute binaries, if you do not have discipline, if you don't have patience, if you're just going to be jumping in on every single bar, stay away from them. If you don't know your price bars, this is all based on candlestick patterns, which I have a new book coming out this week on candlestick patterns. And that's what this is. This entire methodology is based on that, because you don't have a lot of time to stand back and say, hey, what is it going to do? You don't have a lot of time for analyzing. So, again, not something I would want to do without knowing what I'm getting into. Okay, I'm going to do this one. It may not work out, especially with a premium of $11, but if it does, it will be a very good trade. One thing about it, risking $11 is not going to take away the profit that we just made on the euro. And this is not something that I do all day long. At max, I'll do this for an hour to 2 hours. You get a lot of trades in that period. Now there's still 3 minutes left in this 5-minute binary. Still time for this to move up. Will it? I don't know. We're only risking about $44 on that particular one. The euro, we don't have a reversal bar to trade right now. Let me see. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you, and I think I forgot what I was trying to explain. You can see that this is my live account. It says trade.nadex.com. This is my demo account. This is Mozilla. This is Edge. And you can see that right now the same strike that I'm at over here, here is 17, here is 11. Now it's gone back to 7. This is at 10. So I wanted to show you just the simple fact that these prices are running the same. There's not a lot of difference in the prices of these. It will be differences in the price bar depending on when you open the chart. For example, this chart I opened at 6:45 a.m. and of course it just produces the new strikes on the chart, whereas this one I just opened. So you can get some different candlestick formations depending on when you open the chart between the live account and the demo account. That's the only difference I have seen. Anytime I'm testing a strategy, I go to my demo first and then to the live account. I like to have a track record of it. And as you can see, this is more than likely not going to make money. But then again, we were not risking a lot of money on this either. I have had some of them that worked out at $10, and they actually expired in the money, which was really nice. That gives you a 1 to 10 risk to reward ratio when that happens. It is at a point of resistance on the British pound, so I really don't want to enter it there. Again, I don't have a 5-minute reversal bar, so I'm still waiting. If you have a question, if you type it into the chat box, I'll be more than happy to answer the question for you.
This integrated multi-purpose monitor serves up the patient's vital signs, along with advanced clinical measurements. Patient's vital signs, along with advanced clinical measurements. Again, I'm just waiting for a reversal bar to form on the 5-minute. I do have my 5-minute chart opened on another screen. The British pound yen is at an area of resistance, which is why I did not re-enter. It could very easily come down. There's no potential for a reversal bar at the moment. There is a potential right now on the euro dollar, but with 1 minute and 38 seconds remaining, I'm going to wait for the next series before I decide to enter that one. And I also want to make sure that the 5-minute does have that reversal bar forming. So
And we have 45 seconds left on this 5-minute binary. We do have divergence appearing on the 1-minute chart. I'd prefer it to be on the 5-minute. Okay. I'm going to come down out of the money on the euro. I'm not really willing to risk that much on a 5-minute binary. You could if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. We have the potential over here on the British pound. The risk is minimal, so I would take that one. It's not a real strong reversal bar, but I do know that this one will move quite rapidly sometimes. So and you have to remember too, when I went, 2 strikes out on this, it was because we did have almost a full 5 minutes on this. I would not have done that. Let's say it was, 2 minutes before expiration. That would be 4 pips in 2 minutes. I wouldn't have done that. Really want to see more bearish bars come in here. You can see we had a gap from this bar to this bar. Also a gap from here to here. That just tells you that it may actually move below the 1663 area. I don't want to see that bar form. Really want it to come back and take that low out of the previous bar. Right now that would be considered a harami, and you do not want a harami to form there. And I do not like the way that bar is forming on the euro, so I'm going to try to see if see if I can delete that. Yeah. What I didn't want is for a harami to form right here. That would be not good for our position. So we do have 1 minute and 33 seconds. I really want this to come back down. Here we go. And you can see the British pound's not moving very much. But again, we're not risking a lot on these trades either. I like the way this one is forming. I would like it to come below the 63 area. Doesn't mean it will, but it's on my wish list. This is where you really have to watch the value over here, because remember, this can be at 63.0, but it cannot be at 63.1 or greater. And in this case, it expired at 63.3, so we were just less than a pip off. Not even a pip. Let's see if we can get in that one. We still have a reversal bar that is formed on the 5-minute on that one. The British pound is just not moving very much at the moment. Still see if we can get the British pound. Either that's going to move in our direction or not. It's going to be one of the two. Yeah. It does have the reversal bar. The problem here is you're not getting a really solid movement. We'll see what happens though. When it moves, it does move quite drastically. I do not want to see a reversal bar form here. It's got about 20 seconds left. Yeah, I don't like what that's doing. And I'll go ahead and close it if I can. There we go. In this case, you're only saving about $14 here if you exit. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens. The biggest problem on the British pound right now is it has not moved enough. And that's really because the strike width is a little bit bigger on the British pound versus the euro. The euro right now, the strike width is 2 pips, whereas over here it is 5 pips. So you're going to need more movement on this versus this if you're using out of the money, okay? And again, this is not something I'm going to do all day long. I'm going to choose one, maybe an hour and a half to do this. And I don't rely on a lot of other indicators. No, I really rely on the price bars. So, for example, this is the British pound yen chart. This tells me there was divergence as an indicator I have for multi-charts. These red dots highlight the pivot highs. The blue dots highlight the pivot lows. You can see the same thing over here on the euro dollar. You know, it's just highlighting, okay, here was divergence, here was a pivot high. Okay. this was the reversal bar of the 5-minute chart, because the top is a 1 minute, the bottom is a 5 minute. So this just told me we made a reversal bar. We did go, I think, one strike too far out of the money on that one, but that's okay. We're still pretty much positive for the morning. Not sure if I can get in this one. That's a nice reversal pattern there. You see that it's made a pivot high. This one looks like it's going to close below the low of the high. This would be the pivot formation going into the 5-minute chart. And this one just isn't moving, but I really want to do this one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to have a little bit of discipline. Sometimes, anyway. Over on the euro, I really don't see a lot of support for price until it gets down to 56, which is under our strike. This does have about 3 minutes left. This did close below the low of this bar. We'll see if it goes down. I don't like what's forming on the 5-minute, but there's still 3 minutes left in that 5-minute bar. So I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to bring the British pound euro back over for just a moment, because you can see you're developing a reversal bar here. And the issue is right at the next strike, which is 43, you have a resistance area. And this only has about 2.5 minutes remaining. Could that actually take that out? Yes, it could. And it's going to be $10 of risk to find out if this is going to move enough. I think it's probably going to be the next 5-minute bar that it does it on. Could you still do, a $10 binary? Sure. I'm choosing not to, though, because I think it will actually be the next 5-minute bar for that to happen. And you still have 2 minutes left, and that bar can change in that 2-minute period, especially on the British pound. That's why I say you have to have some discipline to trade these formations. I'd like to see this come down to 57. We'll have to watch it because there's still about 1 minute and 23 seconds left. Again, this is not something I would do all day long. Number one, I find it taxes my brain, so to speak. And you have to have a lot of discipline. You have to be able to watch and wait for that reversal bar on that 5 minute. You can't be enticed just by a 1 minute chart. You have to know, okay, this is forming on the 5 minute. I'm simply going into a 5 minute chart. If you don't know your price bars, I wouldn't suggest this methodology. Because it's based on price bars, so you have to know how to read the price bar in order to trade the 5 minute binary. And again, I don't trade these all day long. I traded them for about 2 hours this morning. And then I went live with my demo, so. And again, you'll see the prices are the same if you open your live account with the demo account. And you can see, remember the support area on the 5 minute is at 56, and you see this is just hanging right here. It's just hanging there. It's not going anywhere. That's why I'm not trading that right now. If I bring over the 5 minute, and again, the 1 minute's at the top, the 5 minutes at the bottom, we were able to take profits on this run down. But you can see this line of blue dots is at 1656. Okay, this is where it could potentially find support and push price up. Not a trade I want to get into. Now you've got 2 minutes left in this bar, and it looks like it might be forming a reversal bar. But again, that would be on the next bar. My anticipation would be that it would take out 1669. You do have 1665 as a potential resistance area, but more than likely it's going to try to test this 5 minute resistance area. Again, you got a minute and a half. A lot can change in this bar in a minute and a half. So don't be enticed into entering something that doesn't have your formation. And you can see it's just kind of hanging here, not going anywhere. Okay? Those are not the bars I enter on. I believe it's about 8:30. They're going to change the euro, and it's going to be, I think it's either 4 or 5 pips on the 5 minute spread of 5 minute binary. Let me go and check real quick. I'm not sure if it's 8:30 or 8:15. I'm really not sure. It's from 8:10 to 12:05. They're going to change the strike width to 4 pips. Then on the British pound yen, it stays consistent at 5 pips. So if you don't know your strike width, go to the Nadex.com markets forex contract specifications. If you just click on markets and click on forex, right here it tells you the forex contract specifications. You click on that, and then when you look on the 5 minute intraday from 8:10 to 12:05, it's 4 pips. The rest of the time it's 2 pips. And typically it will move 2 pips. It's going to have some volatility in it for it to move the 4 pips. Now the other thing we want to make sure of is that there are no market reports coming out at 8:15 or 8:30 that could potentially skew the price bars. And of course this morning at 8:30 you have the preliminary GDP quarter over quarter. That could invalidate your price bars. So you want to be careful about that. Again, you need to watch and see what's happening. Now, we do have a potential right here. You see that we've formed a doji, formed a low. You know, I would prefer to see this one close above this high. Okay, it's not doing that right now. You can see up here, you know, it's struggling to move, you know, 2 pips. Okay, that's usually not a good thing for us. There's 3 minutes left, and now you can see they've changed the strike width. Okay, so it's got to go from 59 up to 63, which is why this is about $10. And it's got to be some market movement come in here for that to work. Even at $12, is that a bargain? Not unless it's moving, and right now it's struggling to move 2 pips. Okay. In this case, I would prefer to come over to the British pound yen. Again, you've got 2.5 minutes waiting on this. So I would wait until this completes before I tried to go into that market. Because again, you want to make sure that this is a reversal bar. Okay. Now, is it feasible for this to move 5 pips? The British pound can move 5 pips within 2 minutes. Okay. It could be a real deal. I just don't like that this has a overhead resistance at 35. I prefer it not to have resistance that close to it. If you thought this was a bargain at 15, you could take it, you know. And in all honesty, it is a bargain, just not one I'm going to take. Now I have a full 5 minutes, and I'm going to do this one. You still have that overhead resistance, which is what I don't like. You do notice that the price bars are different from my chart on multi-charts and Nadex. And the only reason for that is I don't have the third digit plotting in multi-charts. I don't like the third digit. On the yen pairs, it's the third digit. On the other pairs, it would be the fifth digit. So you'll see some differences in the candlestick formations. And you can see this is where it hit that resistance area. And it just cannot clear that resistance area. Over on the euro dollar, it's doing exactly the same thing. You see it came right back. Wrong chart. You see it came right back to this area. Even though there was a reversal bar here, it hit that resistance area and it couldn't clear it. That's the reason I watch out for those areas. You know, taking a $15 loss over here, much easier than taking a $50 loss. Remember, we do have a market report at 8:30, so I'm probably going to end the session before that one comes on. Right now, we don't have any market, any reversal patterns to trade, so we're just waiting and watching. Remember, you're not trading the 1 minute patterns, you're trading the 5 minute patterns. And there has not been a 5 minute reversal bar. So that's why we're still waiting.
And there's still 2 minutes remaining on the 5-minute bar. On both the euro and the British pound. On the euro, you have resistance at 68 and 69. On the British pound, you have overhead resistance at 43. Let's see if we can get in this one. Not sure that we can. There we go. Again, you still have that overhead resistance at 43, which is what I don't like about this. The 69 is the resistance area over on the euro dollar. You're testing that resistance area over on the euro dollar. It hasn't yet decided what it's going to do.
I'd like to see this take out the 48 area. We'll have to wait and see. And these premiums do change very, very quickly. And you can see that just from the profit and loss here. Remember, this has to be at 143.431. And this is where you watch the indicative index. That's what determines the expiration value. In that case, I wasn't quick enough to take a profit. Never went as far as I wanted it to. And that's pretty much it for this morning. We have a potential reversal bar over on the 5-minute. We're coming into the market report that's coming out at 8:30. And again, this is not something I do all day long. I do think I'm going to do one last one on the euro dollar. No, I forgot. They changed that, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, that's it. I'm not doing it anymore. Again, you have to have discipline for this. So I hope you enjoyed the 5-minute binaries. And hopefully I'll do some more of these.